Yo guys, what is up? This is Harry Talks Movies and TV, and this is my official ranking for all of the Marvel Disney Plus series so far. It's going to be going least to best, sort of worst to best. It's just solely based on my enjoyment. It's not based on like a critical standpoint, like of how it's made and stuff. It's just solely based on my enjoyment. So I hope you guys enjoy it, but let's get into it. Now, starting off in third place, we have The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. When I first heard of this, I was excited, but not as excited as the other ones, because I do lean more toward the cosmic and magical side of Marvel. That's sort of where my taste is, sort of where my, interest is. But, I still I didn't enjoy The Winter Soldier as much as the average person. I still really enjoyed that movie, like in my top 10 probably. I think probably not, I'd rank it 9th or something. I just didn't enjoy it as much as everyone else seemed to. But yeah, so I guess that's why I didn't sort of enjoy this as much as I wanted to. I just don't know how much I like that aspect of very grounded, very sort of real stuff in the MCU. It's just it's sort of isn't really my taste. But I did still enjoy this show. There were moments of it that I really enjoyed. I liked how, it sort of was a character exploration of how, Sam has to accept coming into the, role of Captain America and what that means and what that entails and stuff. I did enjoy that part of it with Isaiah Bradley and stuff. But I think where this show really struggles is sort of one of the parts is the villains. I feel what's her name? Carly and the Flag Smashers were not very good villains at all. I thought they were very weak. I feel like Marvel tried to make us like them, but after she blew up a building and killed a bunch of people, they still tried to make us feel bad for her. At the end of the series where Sam's floating down with her, you try to make it, it's sort of a sad moment, and they try to make it, but it didn't feel like that because of just she wasn't a likable character. I don't think she worked very well as a villain. However, what they did do a great job with was John Walker. I thought he was great. I thought, what's his name? It's Kurt Russell's son, I forget his name. Wyatt Russell, that's it. I thought he did great as John Walker, and I thought, yeah, I just thought he did an amazing job, and he was good as a villain. I feel like Zemo was really underused in this series. They propped him up, they played with clips, they propped him up as to be some huge part of the show. He was only in a few episodes, and it wasn't even that, it wasn't that big of a role. But I also enjoyed Bucky's character, his development, and how he'd come out of the Winter Soldier stuff. But overall I did enjoy this show. Not as much as I'd hoped, but I did enjoy it as much as the other ones. There were some problems that I had with it, things I just couldn't get interested in. Sort of the pacing was a bit out of whack. But yeah, overall I enjoyed this show. It just had a lot of undeniable problems that you can't ignore, so it was a struggle to really like it. I still liked it. I don't know if I really like it. I enjoyed it. It's an enjoyable watch, but it just is not, I feel like it's not to the standards of the other two or the other MCU movies, so this would not be high in my ranking of the MCU. Overall I enjoyed the show. I just had a lot of big problems. Coming in second place, we have Loki, which just finished airing. The last episode just finished. It just came out a few days ago. I have a full series review of Loki already up on my channel, so go check that out if you haven't already. I want to start by saying I really, 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 really liked this show. I didn't quite love it. I really, really, really liked it. I thought it was so enjoyable. I thought it was so good. It was held back by a few weak episodes, which we'll get into. But overall, I want to say I really, really, really enjoyed this show. I thought it was great. I thought Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson's relationship and friendship was, I think the highlight of the show. It definitely was awesome. I thought the mystery of the timekeepers was really great. I thought the end villain at the end of the series, at the last episode, was really great. Spoilers if you haven't watched it, but it's He Who Remains, and he is so good. I wish we got him a bit earlier, maybe in episode 5, but we didn't, which was a shame. But he was so great when he was actually on screen. His charismatic attitude sort of really propelled the last episode for me, because I wasn't the biggest fan of the last episode, but I definitely enjoyed it more than episodes 5 and 3, which I feel like were the weaker episodes. I feel like episode 3 was really slow, not a lot happened at all, other than to try and progress Loki and Sylvie's relationship, which I thought was kind of gross, but you know, it does show what kind of a narcissist Loki is, so you know, that's acceptable, that's good. I appreciate they did that, but I think, you know, it was hard to like Sylvie at first, but by the end of the series I did, but it really tried to force this relationship on me that it didn't feel like was there, and I feel like it didn't feel like it needed to be there. It did have some subliminal messaging, like how much of a narcissist he was, but I feel like it just didn't need to be there. But it was, you know, it was there, you know, so it just is. I feel like in that episode just not a lot happened, and it was just quite boring, but it was, you know, still watchable. Episode 5, again, that was a lot better than episode 3, but definitely not up to the standards of the other 3 set, which were episode 4, 1 and 2, which I think were the standouts of the series. I feel like they were the standouts of the series. Yeah, I think they were great. I loved them. But yeah, I feel like episode 3 and 5 just did not live up to it. Episode 5 had a lot of Easter eggs. Didn't really progress the story forward though, until the end, which, you know, no, it just, yeah, I thought we should have got the introduction of the villain in the episode 5, but we didn't. I wanted to talk about the supporting cast, which was great. We have Ravonna Renslayer and Hunter B-15, Sylvie and Mobius, who were phenomenal. I want to quickly say Tom Hiddleston's, I'll just quickly move to Tom Hiddleston now. His performance was amazing in this show. I thought he would have got nominated for an Emmy, but you know, the show hadn't finished by the time the Emmy Awards were announced, or Emmy nominations were announced, so that's why he couldn't be nominated. But yeah, he was great. Supporting cast was great. Owen Wilson was phenomenal. I thought their relationship was great. B-15 was really good. Sylvie I ended up liking her a lot. Ravonna was very complex and very fascinating, which was, you know, good to see, since we didn't have a proper villain until the last episode. But yeah, overall I really, really enjoyed this show. I thought it was really, really great. I didn't love it. It had its problems, but overall I really enjoyed this show, other than the weaker episodes. Coming in at my number 1 spot, we've got WandaVision. I loved this show. I thought it was so amazing, and especially for their first show, they really set the bar so high for me. I just enjoyed it so much. I had such a great time with it. The mystery of it, the slow burn. I loved the sitcom sort of style of it, how it was based on sitcoms throughout the decades. I loved it. I thought it was great to see these characters in that environment that we haven't seen them in before. Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany's performances were amazing. They were both nominated for Emmys. This WandaVision got 23 Emmys, was nominated for 23 Emmys. And Falcon and Winter Soldier was only nominated for 5, which, you know, sort of shows the general perception, but I still really enjoyed Falcon and Winter Soldier. But I loved this show. It was so, like, just different, man. It was so crazy and different and wacky, and it was just amazing. You know, the slow burn mystery that we had episode to episode. Those words, "please stand by," at the end of every episode made me like so frustrated, because I just wanted to know what was happening next, which is a good thing. That's what they want. That's what they want you to feel. I feel like the progression of Wanda's character through this grief, sort of look at her through this grief lens, was really, really great. Showing her, you know, 5 stages of grief in each episode. Was really cool. I think that was really cool that they did that, or how they did that. I think it was awesome that we got, it's like, you know, because like I know these comics of Vision and Scarlet Witch having kids and, you know, living suburban lives. I love that stuff. I love that sort of vibe for these two. I think it just is really great. And yeah, I feel like it was great. It was cool to see the twins have powers in the end of it. It was cool to see Wanda get a new suit. That new suit is amazing. Oh my god, this suit was so cool. Such an upgrade from our last one, which was cool. We saw it in episode 5, but it was nowhere near as cool as this new one. And they finally said her name, the Scarlet Witch. Oh, so amazing, man. So such an upgrade for this character. I feel like the villain, Agatha, I don't think she was the strongest villain, like the best MCU villain, but I definitely think she's not the worst, like a lot of people seem to be saying. I think she was really great. I really enjoyed Agnes throughout the series, and then Agatha at the end. She thought Wanda was too, naive to have this power, so she felt like it'd be safer with her. I just feel like that was really cool. I like the witchy element of it. I like what was going on outside with Sword and Monica and Darcy and Jimmy. I thought they were a really cool trio. I did have some problems with the Sword bit, like Director Hayward. I feel like he was just the very cliche villain that the show tried to make us feel like, oh, he's the villain, he's the bad guy, he's the real bad guy. Well, look, we all know Wanda was the villain, but like, who cares? She's the protagonist in this. She's a protagonist for this show. Like, it's obviously they're making her the villain. I've seen people saying that she's not taking accountability. That's why she went to the mountains, to take accountability. She knows that she'd be like arrested and stuff, so she went to the mountains. But yeah, I feel like Director Hayward was too much of a classical cliche villain. That they tried so hard to make us be like, oh, this guy's evil, this guy's bad. When realistically, he wasn't doing anything that bad. He was just trying to save the people of Westview, even though he was a cocky bastard and was like, oh, everyone's gonna thank me. But he genuinely was just trying to save the people of Westview. But the show tried to make us feel like he was a villain, which I didn't really like, which was a flaw of the show. But it's one little flaw in an otherwise amazing show. I feel like I really, really loved this show. Just and the supporting cast, man, like just everything about the show, the main cast, supporting cast, the set design. I want to talk about that real quick. The set design for this show has been amazing. Every single episode has a new set, which was so awesome. I loved this show. I really loved it. I feel like it set the bar way too high for the other shows. I still really, really, really enjoyed Loki, and I still liked Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I feel like they're just not on this level of what WandaVision was. But anyway, guys, those are my rankings for the MCU Disney Plus shows. Let me know what your ranking is down in the comments, and if you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.